What's going on, everybody? It's the Child Free Thinker, and I'm back at you again with another video. I need to get on here and talk about some stuff to keep me awake because I've been studying like nonstop for 3 days. And this is like my last day I have of study time before I do my little exam. So I'm just doing like the last couple chapters and figured I'd talk about this to keep me awake because it's been on my mind and it needs to be discussed. It's like a FYI, but it's nothing new because for some reason this culture seems to always be thinking everything is a joke. And when I say this culture, I'm talking about like black culture, especially in the United States. Everything is seen as a joke, and I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had said this way back in 2010. I knew some people that was trying to get it. I'm not knocking anybody for getting if you have to get the assistance or whatever it is, but I just, never went down that road for a lot of different reasons. One, for the black women who don't have kids, don't have them because I'm not doing anything to get them. I don't care what's considered lame. I'm not into men. I'm not into them. I'm not attracted to them. Period. In my culture, I'm so glad I was born not being attracted because it's about to get real bad next year, especially for black people. We have this election getting ready to come up towards the end of the year, 2025. You'll know who your new president is. And all the years of sort of like goofing off and the dudes out here taking each other out and rapping Dr. Seuss songs to make dough, and everybody wants to be a rapper and all this stuff. It's getting ready to backfire, man. What's up, guys and girl? When you talk about these type of things, people get offended. But that's what's wrong with this culture. They always offended. And you can't, I'm not saying it to anybody, to be honest. I'm just saying this stuff really just to get this off my head because I'm trying to finish studying. For those who happen to hear and agree, cool. If you don't agree, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, it's about to backfire. Those of us who have clear-sightedness, we were like this our whole life. Like we looked around and we saw that we didn't want to live a certain way. We weren't going to, continue the legacy of poverty. We weren't going to get with males, even if you're heterosexual. I'm not, but if you are heterosexual and you're a woman, a lot of you all that aren't baby mamas is because you saw, okay, for your own eyes that you didn't want to go down a certain route. Even if you're LGBT like me, you were just thankful that, you were just, I'm thankful I was born like that, but I'm still wanting to keep to myself. That don't do nothing for me, right? I just need to keep to myself. For the heterosexual ladies, I commend you for not going down that path that you saw, or maybe it was just things in the world you didn't want to be like. So you're probably like me, up studying, putting in the effort, wanting to go to sleep so bad, but having to continue to study to make sure you're able to take care of yourself in these next years ahead. You know, the last thing, especially black women, because this is going to affect not all black people, because the black people who had their head on right are going to be just fine. But you will have like leeches, if you know what I mean. You're going to have people that want to leech. Ain't nobody gonna leech off me because I'll slap the shit out of you. But some of you all, especially the black women, not necessarily the black dudes, because a lot of them are living off of women, whether it be their grandma, great grandma, aunts, moms, baby mamas, sisters, aunties, But a lot of those women are dying off now. The older women that allowed that type of behavior back in the days, they're dying off. So a lot of people are going into what you call going to the streets for real. They bragging, talking about they from the streets and all that. Now they really gonna be on the streets because the people who they were leeching off of, mooching off of, and living off of are no longer babying them, which this this needs to happen, to be honest. It should happen. All of the stuff that's happening now, this culture has had plenty of time to get their shit together, and they just kept on creating legacies of poverty, except for those who chose a different route, and they were probably hated by the other black people because they feel like you don't know what it's like to struggle. Man, please. Being born black is already a challenge in itself. You get what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to be very strategic, not manipulative, but strategic in your own life and make decisions that's going to be beneficial for you and your future, not everybody else who doesn't like what you do. Is not, who cares what they like? They're not doing nothing, and they couldn't do nothing for you in the first place, so their opinion don't mean shit. Like the people in my family, none of their opinions matter to me. None of their opinions mean shit to me. Everything I've ever needed, I got. You get what I'm saying? So none of their opinions, they can't tell me anything. Some of them give bad advice in the first place. They didn't even take their own advice. I would never take theirs. Um, Gaza Girl says, women are in trouble. Girl, so glad I decided against kids. Yes. Well, y'all should, I told y'all way before this went down, you better be strapped up. You better be strapped up. I'll tell you that much, especially black women, because a dude come in my, if a dude get up in my face, he already know he getting his whole top taken clean off. And I will have no conscience, you know what I'm saying about it. Uh, Especially for black women, because y'all better be skilled in some type of martial arts. You better be strapped. You know what I'm saying? You better be in shape. If you're not, you better get in shape. You know, you better get that bag up. You better live simply. You know, take care of yourself. Know how to do stuff on your own. Know how to fix stuff on your own. You know something about your vehicle. Know how to, fix stuff on your own. Um, for real. Like, drink your water, hydrate yourself, take care of yourself, you know, study different trades, anything that you can study, anything that you can get certifications in just to be able to help yourself. Don't have any guys living off you. Even I'm sorry, even certain family members, they are dudes. This shit, all that big mama stuff, all the big mamas, they dead or dying off. No disrespect, but there should be no big mamas in the black culture. No more big mamas. Okay. Big mama was big because she didn't respect herself. She may have been loving or whatever, but big mama was a big mama because she didn't put herself first. She didn't take care of her health. So she was huge. And that was the look that people thought we should have. Looking all sloppy, taking care of all the dudes in the family. Women end up being very independent, but making bad decisions when it come down to the dudes, ending up baby mamas, ended up on the street with their kids, while Tyrone and Pookie's living from house to house, getting in imaginary wars, being a fake gangster, dying over stupid shit with a million and two kids everywhere, broke and poor. So y'all women better make sure you do not have no leeches on you and have no leeches, even if it's family members. Don't be so quick to have all these goddamn people in your place, in your life, in your circle. Make sure you know who you're dealing with out here. This ain't the time really for even black women. I don't know about other ones, but black women, if I were you with that whole dating stuff, you mean to take a date to the gun range. I don't care, to the pew pew range. You get what I'm saying? Y'all need to be knowing what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, I feel sorry for you. You know, you, I'm just one of those worst case scenario type people. Period. You For the Christmas holiday, a lot of women should have been straight. Arming yourself. If you live in a state that you cannot carry, conceal, or a state where you cannot own a firearm, you need to be moving to a state where you can, especially black women. And you need to know how to use it. Not just be trying to be cute. It doesn't have to be pink. It doesn't have to be girly. I mean, if you wanted to be like, that's cool. You just need to know how to arm yourself. You need to know how to execute. Straight up. Don't be being all nice to the dudes and stuff like, especially in the black culture, black women. Cut all that out, because y'all better be decisive. You better not be indecisive. Let your no's be no and your yeses be yes. Don't switch up on shit. You already said what you said. Period. Okay? Don't have people living in your spot. Don't have people living up off you. Find a way to make sure you are very self-sufficient. For real. And most of all, for the heterosexual women, black women, especially for heterosexual black women, do not, I repeat, do not get caught up out here with all them, you shouldn't be in no position where you with anybody where you end up with some kids, especially black people, black women, because that's going to put you in a bad situation. Keep your head screwed on right, educate yourself, invest in your education, invest in things that's going to better your future. Lay low, live simply. You can still beautify yourself. Learn how to do some of these things yourself, you know. If you are befriending some of these women out here, make sure they're not with no Pookie and no Ray Ray, because whatever she get into, you can end up in a lot of danger by the people you hang around. For real. If you have a homegirl and she do nails and you a homegirl, you do hair, y'all trade off. You get what I'm saying? Trade off. It doesn't mean it's for free. It just means that maybe if that's your homegirl, okay, different. Y'all could trade off. But she bring you people that need their nails done. You bring her people that need their hair done. You get what I'm saying? Do it like that. But for each other, y'all hook each other up because y'all bringing each other clients and stuff like that. But especially if that's what she does and does only. If she does hair and but she don't do nails and you do nails but you don't do hair, she know people who do need their nails done. You know people that need their hair done. You get what I'm saying? Like vice versa. Stuff like that. Black women need to be doing stuff like that. There should be no women out here arguing over no broke motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Ew. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, a lot of the old heads they dying off. So you know all the shit gonna hit the fan in 2025 because a lot of them have been living, in the basements or playing video games in their mama house or grandma house and off all these baby mamas that think it's cool. All this shit that's going on out here, it's gonna be a lot of people out there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be women and their kids out there because of the type of dude they laid down with. And the dude don't have no money. The dudes don't be having no money. They got a whole lot of kids. That ain't what that mean. They don't have no money. None of y'all women should be out here taking care of no dude's kids. Period. That's not your kids. They have their own mother. You're not their mother. They have their own mother. No disrespect to the kids, but y'all, this culture need to force these people to grow the fuck up. I'm sorry, ain't nothing cute about it. I'm not trying to be rude, but no, you don't need a village all of a sudden when things backfire. You don't need a village when the baby daddy doesn't do what they need to do. You don't need a village when the baby mama doesn't. Yeah, you should choose the right part people. You don't choose other people to be your village because you want to put your responsibility on those people who don't have shit to do with these people choices. And you can't get mad at the people who don't want anything to do with you and your bad choices. These people don't want to put it's just the truth. Y'all black women, I'm talking especially to you, it's about to get real. And you don't want to be one of those people on viral crimes because of the people you hanging with. Or the person that's looking for a free hot and a cot. 3 hot meals, 3 hots and a cot. Ain't nothing cute about that. There should be no black women take care of any goddamn body. Single women, especially single black women. You have no idea how good that is. It's a good thing. Don't let nobody bait you into getting tied up in some poverty and taking on somebody's last name of poverty. A legacy of poverty is attached to your name. You get what I'm saying? Some people legacies is in their name, and their legacy could be tied to poverty. And now y'all be so in a rush to let somebody name you like that's like you a dog or something. No disrespect, because animals have, I respect animals, but what I'm saying is for years, black women thought that was a flex. I don't know why. I never wanted to be married and I never wanted kids ever in my life. But I used to hear women talking about it, but they were living in shambles. You get what I'm saying? They had a bunch of kids. They had some dude last name, but it went shit in there for them or their kids. So you basically did this to prove something to other women that you can live like the women before you. Like this shit played out. Hell no. You know, then the women end up with the kids and they end up struggling, but at least they have the legacy of poverty's last name. Who wants that? And you gotta wear that shit. You gotta wear that name. Who wants that? And your kids gotta wear that last name. Hell no. Don't let nobody name you like a pet. You know what I'm saying? You have your own name. If you don't like that, you could do something about that. Y'all should be focused on your finances. You should be focused on longevity and stability. All that lovey-dovey shit, honestly, for black women, you need to be more focused on your stability. All that dumb shit is played out. Hell no. For us, for black women, you got to be smart. Literally, intellectually, you got to know how to navigate. And you can't be navigating with all that extra, shit on all that extra burdens on your back. You know what I'm saying? Let these dudes take care of themselves. That's a burden. Let them go overseas and, get sent back chopped up in pieces. Good, you know what I'm saying? But for you, you shouldn't feel shit about that. Are you gonna end up like all the other women from all them other generations? Okay, 5, 6 kids, struggling. trying to stretch a dollar. What some dude that's just sitting there looking retarded, excuse me, looking stupid, and you trying to figure out what to do. And he just what they supposed to be there for? I don't understand. What are they there for? Black women of all women. I don't know about the other ones, but I know black women. Y'all gonna put y'all head on right. Grow your own hair. Learn how to do your. If you do your nails, learn how to do these things. Bring out your creativity. Know how to handle this stuff for yourself. Get what you need, and some of the things you like every now and then treat yourself. But for the most part, think about the future. Think about what year we're getting ready to step up into, and think about the changes that are getting ready to be implemented into this world and how it's going to affect certain groups of people. It won't hit other groups as hard as it will black people, especially black people without a plan. There should be no black women out here talking about dating any goddamn thing. That's gonna be your burden. You should not be impressed by none of this shit out here. None of it. None of it. All that shit should bore you, to be honest. Get your own shit. For I don't understand why women was bragging about, especially black women. I understand you say, yeah, I want these dudes. You know, he got this, he got that. You make sure your name on your shit, all your shit. No, because I come across so many women, and I deal with this in what I do. So many women that got rude away, especially black women, because they should have known better. You know, I don't know about the other, but black women should know better. Of all the women, you know better. You know you're going to have to make sure you're good on your own too. You get what I'm saying? There's so many women I have come across that it was just weird because the dude was in the background. He couldn't do shit about it, what was going on. And the women had no understanding of how to handle anything because she left. There are some women who I guess they were trying to do the traditional route, the traditional thing, and leave it in the dude hand or whatever, and shit start getting shut down. You get what I'm saying? For real. Because he couldn't carry all that. He couldn't do none of the stuff that, you know, the traditional bullshit. He couldn't do none of that traditional shit. So she had, some of the women have no understanding about how to, what's going on as far as like the legalities and the paperwork and all that type of stuff. They call themselves putting it into the dude hands, and they find themselves in a world of trouble. Okay. The dude's not taking care of their health. Years of them drinking and drugging and being out there in the streets, running through all the women, all that bullshit, it catch up with them, and they take them out. And now the women, especially black women, because you know a lot of the dudes, they lifespan, they don't live too long. You know, previously in this culture, the dudes, their lifespan used to be probably max 60. Now it's about, they don't even make it out their 20s. You know, so for the heterosexual women, some of them end up as baby mamas by default, either because they dealing with, you know, the stereotypical pookie that's been raised to be pookie because of the mamas and grandmamas babying them, and or the dudes end up dying because of really bad health. So the black women got to get out that la la land, that fairy tale Tinkerbell stuff. Y'all got to put your heads on right. I don't understand how any woman can live in la la land like that. You know. And I hear women talking about this soft girl era, all this bullshit. Look, you could be cute, but you got to be smart too. Being cute ain't all there is. You could be cute when you can't be nothing else. You got to make sure you take care of your shit, your stuff. Not the dude. I mean, that's cool, whatever. If that's what, make sure you're good at the end of the day. Make sure you can handle your own shit for real. You shouldn't be waiting around for anybody at all, especially our culture. Especially our culture. Now, I don't know about the other ones, but this is a FYI, or you know, for black women. If you in La La Land, sis, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. Because all them days when you really look back on it and you seen like those old women, old black women with houses full of people, none of them people was really paying shit. They were living off of her. And they never put their foot down. Especially the dudes, because the women normally left. But the dudes was just lingering around and wouldn't get the fuck on. right? They'll be like 50, the dude's getting older, they still living with like the grandma. For a woman, that's different because women normally want to, but for a woman, there are more things that you got to be aware of in this world. It's different for women than it is for dudes. You a dude. You're a dude. You know what I'm saying? You're a dude. But to them, their masculinity is dependent on how many fatherless kids they can create in poverty, legacies of poverty, while pretending to be rich when everyone out here knows that you're not. Because if that's the case, then the communities will look better than they do, right? So that's not a flex. The women need to be more smarter and more selective and stop using these stupid excuses about they did the best they could. Because that generational bullshit is played out with all the black women saying they did the best. If that's the best you could do, choose the same thing as the women before you. You didn't do the best you could. The best you could would have been applying yourself, staying up late to study just to make sure you learn a different skill, to provide for yourself, to put yourself in a better position, doing the best you could, and leaning back, throwing your leg up, and getting with a loser. I'm not trying to be messy, but I'm just being honest. That's not the best you could do. Passing down poverty to another generation type of bullshit, that's a cop out. And it's too many women, you looking at who look good and all this type of stuff. They're not thinking. And it's weird. It's just weird for women to have that mentality in our culture still. And it's about to backfire on. I'm telling you, man, I watch shows like that and it just really makes sure it keep me on point. And no temptation for me. Not in this culture, not period. Hell no. The idea of poverty ain't attractive. The idea of poverty is not attractive. It's not cute at all. So that's why black women, y'all need to be thinking about that shit. You want to live in poverty? You go right ahead and choose a Tyrone. You go right ahead and keep pumping out 1,000,002 kids. Hell no. You go right ahead and listen to these whack ass churches that's telling you to be fruitful in a culture where people keep on saying they did the best they could. The best you could do is make different choices. That's the best you can do. Because what are they pumping out? They're going to be the ones that's going through the shit. Because I hope they understand. Um, we're in the days of technology now, so artificial intelligence is about to replace a lot of stuff. All that Burger King, McDonald's, Hardee's, all that shit is about to be ran by robots. So Pookie can't just say he working at McDonald's now. What, 10 kids? And the women seem to think that's cute. What legacy can you possibly leave when Pookie know how to use his body with 10 kids from 10 different women at Burger King? And what woman will be okay with Pookie at Burger King with 10 kids from 10 women? Now you're talking about disease. So you're talking about disease and poverty and a bunch of kids without a. Come on, y'all. Black women, y'all got to have some more self-respect for your fucking self. This generational bullshit is because of lack of respect for self. You giving a damn about what somebody think about you. I don't give a damn either way. People know, just stay the hell out my face. They know what I want my money. I want my money, not your opinion. You know what I mean? And I mean that. So, y'all need to, a lot of black women need to be more decisive and straight up and stop trying to compare yourself to all these other women out here. You have a whole nother different experience because women from different cultures, they have different things set in place. Black women, you the one who built this shit. Don't let nobody tear this shit down either. Straight up. You want to know why that certain areas look as jacked up as they do? First off, I'm talking about the person who held the pocket strings or the purse strings. Like I told you, a lot of them are a lot of the older generations are dying off. Some of them, like I said, they took care of kids until the day they died, and it was other people's kids. Like them grandmas, great grandmas, they on their deathbed, they were still taking care of a bunch of kids that were not their kids because they knew, if they didn't do it, that's what the first thing they should have stopped that shit right there. And they should have stopped that right there. They should have put their foot down and told the men and the women, you better hold that person can take care of them, because they should have let them know, no, I could see them if I want to. It ended, I won't, but you're not gonna keep pumping out all these goddamn kids and thinking somebody finna take care of them goddamn kids. No disrespect to the kids, it's just you enabling people, right? You're enabling them. When you enable a person, you condone their behavior, and that makes them do more of the same thing. So that's why you have generations of this shit. A lot of the older people, they probably thought they were doing something cool, because actually it wasn't cool. They didn't allow that shit. If you look at the history, at one point, I think like in the 30s, 40s, 50s, that was a no-no. You know what happened back then. But there are so many secrets in this culture about like old creeps slithering around with like young people and having kids from young people, and they know that shit was creepy, but they sent the girls to like boarding schools and stuff like that, but they never got on the dudes. So they should have made examples out of them dudes. They should have sent their ass to the military and forced them to stay in and forced them to retire in it, and not let them come back until they do that. You're a dude, you're not a woman. You get what I'm saying? Act like you know. But see, they were being all lenient to these dudes, and it made them soft. Now they out here with guns and don't even know what they aiming at. Just like they don't know what they aiming at with all these kids out here. They splattered all over the place. You get what I'm saying? So where other guys could make their culture look like something, and they have problems too, our culture is just like, it's embarrassing. But what's even more embarrassing is the women that can see these dudes in these situations, and you lay down with them and have their kids. There's no worse checkmate for Black women. There's no worse checkmate is a Black woman that not only ties herself to something like that, but you have kids from that. Now you checkmated. I'm sorry, you can't say shit else. At that point, you got to shut up, because for the Black woman that's choosing these types, you got to be honest with yourself. It's one thing to choose that type, and it's another thing to reproduce with that type. What was going on in your head? What you weren't thinking? Futuristically, stably, you weren't thinking. What can that person possibly do for you or your future generations? Right? So the big mamas, they kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The reason why you keep, seeing women look like that is because they keep on trying to live that same lifestyle, and it's backfiring on those Black women who keep doing that. Number one, they setting their kids up for failure, living that lifestyle, just choosing anything off the streets. Okay. Number two, letting a dude live with you is the dumbest thing possible. He need to build his own. No dude should be living off you or living with you. That's what you get strapped for. You know what I mean? That's what you go get your piece for. Because half of them can't even protect themselves. Half of these dudes, you see, they dying quicker than us. What they gonna do? They be standing there screaming like a bitch. They screaming like a bitch. The woman over there handling it. Because at the homicide rates going on out here with these dudes, what they gonna do? You can't even save your own life, son. You can't even save yourself. What you gonna do besides act tough out here in these streets trying to impress people? And end up blown to smithereens in the middle of the street with another RIP sign, and a balloon release for acting tough and leaving behind 10 to 15 kids from 10 to 15 different women in the same neighborhood. That's not cute. And it says a lot about the women too. With the dude, you see This stuff has been, this is legacies. People talk about their legacy. There's your legacy. And you're right. I was talking about this a while back. Lineage versus legacy. I made a video on it a long time ago before everybody started talking about it. I did that, but I guess they look at the smaller channels and they start. I did that way before. I had a long conversation, so I was the first one to publish it. Because a lot of people do mix it up, especially in this culture, the lineage and the legacy, lineage and legacy. You know, like, nah. I always said I'm my own legacy. Lineage is what you come from. You become who you are. A legacy is what you create for yourself. And everybody's legacy is different. Some legacies are big, some legacies are small, but it's what who you are. Some people have legacies of being a bitch. Some people have legacies of being hoes. Some people have legacies of being crooks. Some people have legacies of being smart. And it runs in their bloodline. I mean, it runs the lineage. You may see lineages of people who use their mind. You may see lineages of alcoholics, lineages of dope addicts. You may see lineages of doctors, lineages of nurses, in the whole lineage. Or you may see lineages of jailbirds and lineages of baby mamas, you know, or you may have legacies of people who do something that's never been done before, people who say things that everybody else was scared to say, people who live differently when everybody else was living typically and traditionally. This person is like somebody who, like me, I don't follow. I'm not a follower. I'm not a good, I'm not following anybody. I'm not submitting. I don't do that shit. I'm not conforming. I don't obey. I don't do any of that. I don't do that. I don't care what they say. I'm not doing it. No. Right? I'm grown. I'm not a kid. So I'm not obeying shit. I'm grown. Right? And that's just that. But if they say that's masculine, whatever. I don't care. They don't hurt my feelings. But, you know, this shit got to stop. And it's too late now because, 2025 right around the corner. This culture done set up their goofing on, twerking on in the goddamn White House, bragging about Barack Obama all them years and was making the same fucking choices. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, nothing changed except for the people who change it. Everybody in my age group are baby mamas because that's supposed to be the standard, very low. For Black women, the standard is on the ground. So if you're not living that ground standard where you just run out and get a pookie and let the pookie bring their pair of Jordans and their do-rag and their game box with their 10 baby mamas, that's what's supposed to be cool for you. And then when the heat and the pressure is on, they seem to be running from all their baby mamas back to their mama. It's so creepy. It's so fucking creepy. It's just like the Oedipus complex, the Stockholm syndrome with the females, Oedipus complex with the males. It's just creepy, and you put the shit together and it's dysfunctional as hell. Passing down crumbs, nickels, and dimes. No motherfucking trust funds at all. GoFundMe all over the place. It's just embarrassing. Dude sitting up there crying, talking about what are we gonna do now? You a bitch. Man, shut up, bro. You sound like a bitch. What we gonna do now? Who gonna be our leader? And ew, it's just, and these women are getting knocked up from that. That is, Black women gotta do better, man. And the reason I'm saying this is because that's the only way these generations continue. If you out here choosing this, in this generation, you deserve everything you fucking get. If you a Black woman and you still making these fucking choices out here, knowing what era we in, and you out here with a Pookie and a Ray Ray, you want that. If you're not putting yourself first and putting your bag first, and you're not making smart choices, and you're not seeing what new skills you can learn to take care of you, that's on you. If you out here letting people live off you and even your family, then you got to make a decision. If you got 1,000,002 people in your space and they ain't contributing to shit, that's on you. It ain't about nobody looking good. It's a lot of people to look good. So what? Okay. This culture is way far behind because the parents, they not giving head starts. You get what I'm saying? In the black culture, the parents ain't give, they picking any goddamn thing. They laying down with any goddamn thing. Any goddamn thing. I'm talking about they don't even sit down and discuss medical history. They don't even sit they dumbasses down and discuss health history, what running family lines. So you know they don't know if the person broke or not. They don't give a damn. But the dudes barely got a car fresh off the goddamn scrapyard. Have you ever noticed in the black culture that these dudes love their pit bulls and they put a lot of money into these broke down ass cars, but they don't have trust funds for all their kids? You notice that shit? A collection of shoes like a woman, even if it's tennis shoes like a bitch, excuse me. But I could understand like what man goes around collecting a whole bunch of damn dumbass Jordans with no arch support where your feet are flat as fuck? You got 10 kids all over the place. There's no trust fund. You have nothing set aside. But you're just popping out fucking kids all over the place from anything. You think you're cool because you're hanging around with other derelicts. And that makes you feel like a man because of all the baby mamas you were able to smash. And when they asses die, it's another GoFundMe. And they think they're not embarrassed. Somebody has to feel sorry for you. And you a grown man. You want your kids to be the poster boys and the poster girls of poverty. And you're okay with that. That's their fucking legacy. And any black woman laying down with that, that's your legacy. Because that's even more embarrassing. If a woman allows some dude like that to knock them up, sweetheart, you got more to be thinking about. Because now they're going to be looking at you as the mother of poverty, the queen of poverty. If he the king of poverty, that makes you the queen of poverty. What you going to do about that? Make good choices for yourself. Don't worry about what other people think. Because this is the wrong time to be out here making bad choices and winking and blowing kisses at people. Okay? That don't mean a damn thing. I mean, damn, look how many generations this shit is. Like, nobody sees something not wrong with this picture. That's 1600, 1700, 1800, 1900, 2000, damn near 3000 of the same dumb fucking choices. And I just can't deal with it. I honestly feel like that heat does need to be put on some asses. I honestly do. Because laying around knocking each other up all day, that's a poor mentality. If you notice the richest people in the world, not rich, you can get rich overnight. The wealthiest people and that shit go all the way back. Do you see them doing that shit every day? You see them with like bucket loads of kids all over the place? Hell no, because they protecting their name. They value themselves. A Tyrone don't value themselves. That's why they got them all over the place like that. And the women, they don't seem to value themselves. They think that's cute. Long gone are the days, ladies, to run to the damn courthouse talking. They gonna crack back on that child support shit too. I hope you know that. Cause see, look at the history. Before it used to be a lot of the times, and I would see some women would school other women on that embarrassing shit. Where why do you think some of these women do that too? Some of these women would go for the worst dudes possible because they thought that they were gonna have some control. And they bragged about being cute and pretty, but they always seem to get with the worst dudes possible because they are matched for each other. It ain't that dude, he might be a damn clown and broke, but something about that woman matches who he is. That's why she chose him. Okay. She thought she was going to get something out of this. Either she thought she was going to go and sign up for whatever perks she can get, you know, and then throw the dude on child support real quick, knowing he had no money in the first place, knowing he wasn't a good fit and a good candidate. But they're the same. They are the same. He is just like her. She is just like him. These women are not perfect either. I'm telling you, because nobody would willingly pass down. Nobody would willingly choose someone who is not capable. Who would do that shit? And why does this shit? It sounds stupid because all the women keep saying the same thing and all the dudes keep saying the same thing. It's played out. The shit's lame now. Nobody wants to hear that shit. I'm tired of hearing these women say I did the best I could. That's why I don't even rock with women like that, because they piss me off. No, you didn't. And then the cycle continues. They end up having baby mamas. Then they end up having baby mamas. And out of the family line, some of them just is like, I don't want to do this shit. Nah. You may have one or two that don't end up baby mamas, but they also make different choices. They might cut all their ass off because it's stupid. You know that dude don't have shit. And neither do you. And praying for a miracle and going to church and all this stupid shit. Look, the most church going people are the black people. I don't do that shit. I make it happen on my own. I know that there's a higher power, but I'm not going to be sent up in church with all these fake ass women that don't even like each other, fighting over dudes, baby mamas filling the churches, trying to impress the preacher, hate each other's guts, don't get along. Daughters have to leave by the time they 13, 16. The mama boy is still living in breastfeeding until he's fucking 90 years old with a decrepit ass. 90 years old, suckling off of their old mother's tits. With kids from 1 week old to motherfucking 50. And they trying to prove they still got it, so they still trying to have kids because that's all that they seem to have any power over. If you're powerless, the only thing that you can do is just keep on effing. Keep on effing because you have no control over yourself. And the one thing that you still are able to do for free ends up costing you and your future generations because you can't control your fucking self. And now all you can do is pray and go to church and jump up and down and sing and shit. Say you're blessed and highly favored, but when you look at the areas, it's all fucked up and dilapidated and torn down. Some don't look right. You're blessed and highly favored, but the banks in certain areas are closed. Stores in certain areas are closed. Schools in certain areas look like shit. Potholes in the street. You're blessed and highly favored. And some don't sound right. They're in denial. And they use religion as a cover-up. And people like me that's always thought for myself. I think for myself. I'm not a follower. I don't follow anybody. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not following. You get what I'm saying? I don't follow dudes. I don't follow nobody. I think for myself. I like free thinkers too. People who think for themselves, we get along just fine. They think for themselves. We may not agree on everything, but you think and I think, and I respect that you're a thinker. Right? I've never understood that. Like, you make the choice on your own and suddenly you bringing everything to God. God didn't knock these women up, and God didn't go around knocking people up, right? Then everybody is so full with the Lord. But look at the shit that's happened, the homicide rates. Does that sound like God-fearing people? You know what I'm saying? Like the mass incarcerations, the mass homicides, genocides, femicides. Does this seem like God-fearing people? It don't sound right. Sounds weird. It's just like a bunch of cover-ups and cop-outs. Then the only thing they could pick out of the Bible, I'm not even a religious person. I'm not with that shit. But that's it. The only thing you could pick out of the little Bible that you told around is you talk about struggle because that's the only thing they can identify with. And that's who the fuck they keep hanging with. It's better to roll by yourself than to hang with people that they keep thinking on that dumb shit. They keep all the things they keep talking about struggle, and you keep effing. It's what the fuck is wrong with these people? Why are you even attracted to anybody? You need to have stability. Like, what's wrong with these men and these women? And what's wrong with these fucking women? Like, why are you interested in effing and this dude is broke as fuck? How could you even be attracted to that shit? So it's like the women and the men, it's just some ain't right. It's not making sense. Tyrone, stop trying to be an old rapper. You're old. Sit down. I don't want to hear you rapping about your prostate. I don't want to hear you rapping about your knees popping. I don't want to hear you rapping about, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear you rapping about your dentures. Shut the fuck up. At this point, stop. You sound like Dr. Seuss. It's not cool. You don't sound cool. You're 80. Why are you rapping? What are you rapping about? The pearly gates? Transitioning? Leaving this world and going to another? And this culture allows it. This culture worships whack ass rappers, women bragging about their cooches and their asses. They worship and they condone these dudes acting tough when they wouldn't even last 2 days in the goddamn armed services. They wouldn't last 2 days in the military. They'd be crying like a bitch in basic training, crying for their mommy. I know, I've seen it. Ma, crying like a little bitch. And these are the toughest dudes you've seen. Out here, they try to act tough. Baby mamas, they brag. They don't make it in basic training. They cry. Mommy, gay. It's just so gross. What the fuck is wrong with you? Ew. And this is the tough dudes you see out here. Yeah, you don't want to mess with me. You know what I do. You know what I'm saying? They get the basic. Man, who you talking to, man? Who you better get out of my face, man? You better get, man, shut up. You're not gonna do nothing. You don't have your gun. You don't have your tummy gun. Shut up. Take that. You don't have your gat. You're not gonna do nothing. Says, get your ass down to them push-ups. Get your ass down to them planks. Get your ass down to them squats. Get your ass down to that duck walk. Get your ass down, down, down. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, and they don't like that because they never had to do that. They normally could be the dude of the house at 5 years old and get all these perks and shit for just being a dude from grandma, great grandma, and all these dudes babying their asses. So you get to the military and you get treated like you don't know how to handle that. Except for the dudes who know what they're doing. That's different. You got two types. You have the dudes who went in willingly, and you have the dudes who, they were like, look, they got sick of their ass. They probably was getting in trouble. Okay, grandma messed around and probably died. Wasn't nobody about to let them live off of them. They thought it was going to be a piece of cake because, I'm from the streets, I'm staying from the streets. And they went in there and got their asses handed to them. They got ripped another asshole. They went in there thinking, I don't know, they were watching Save It Private Ryan. They were watching Hamburger Hill. They were watching Platoon. They started watching Platoon. They trying to take notes. They thought it was going to be like that. They went in there looking like, what they say? What is your name? You remember the lieutenant in Hamburger Hill? Well, you all may not know that movie, but you may want to watch it. That's one of my favorites. Hamburger Hill and Platoon and all those movies, all of them all. But there was one where there was this the chubby dude, and they kept on messing with the dude over and over and over and over. And the sergeant just kept on drilling his ass, drilling. He couldn't take that. So guess what happened? The sergeant, people was like, wow, that's what happened to a lot of the dudes who think they tough and stuff. They can't take that type of shit because they've been, they mama boy, they grandmama boy baby. They damn near 100 years old, still living off of them. They got all these kids out here. Nobody making them grow the fuck up. They playing video games and they 50. Okay? Their hair turned gray. Their beard is gray. Their chest hair is gray. They still haven't grew up. They're still wearing Batman underwear. They got 30 kids. The kids are more mature than them. They get their basic and they're a bitch all of a sudden. They don't want to show it, but everybody can tell. Right? The women breezing through it, except for the women who go in and get knocked up because they don't want to deal with it. They thought they were going to come in, and this shit pissed me. You go in, they put on makeup, they getting their nails done. There's nothing wrong with it. You could look cute, but they start realizing that I thought it was going to be different. I thought you're not getting preferential treatment, sweetheart. Nobody cares about your tears. You're not here to have a cry fest. You can do that at a later time. Okay, you're not here to it's a time and a place. So they realize they're like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, and they go get knocked up. They go get knocked up. They revert to the ways that they've known. They revert to the ways that they've known. You get your ass all the way there. You get your ass to basic. You punk up. You get with the first dude, call you pretty. They end up, they don't even make it out. They already, and I don't know how the hell I mean, I know how they do it. They get knocked up in basic. Okay. And look stupid. Just like the mama boy. The mama boy is up there calling every chance he get. They tell them both what they everything, it's like, don't bring all that extra shit. You're going to carry it. What they do? The opposite, especially the women. Hair dryer. You know better. Hair dryer, makeup case, lip gloss, lipstick, nail filer, nail clippers, a bunch of shoes, trying to be cute. They end up knocked up. They learn the hard way. Dudes could want to be macho. You know, they think it's a movie. You know, they think they Tupac. Oh man, it's horrible. But at this point now, they need something. You know, effing all over the place, effing everything in sight. You end up effing yourself up and effing yourself over. You're not proving nothing to anybody. You shouldn't give a damn about these grown people out here. They shouldn't mean shit to you, to be honest. They shouldn't mean shit to you unless they really do mean something. It shouldn't mean shit to you unless they mean something to you. Period. And vice versa, whatever. But for black people, you in a whole nother bracket. You know what I mean? A whole nother bracket. You in a whole nother field, playing field. The border's open. Nobody gonna feel sorry for you. You can listen to all these people if you want. The border's open. You think people coming to the United States gonna feel sorry for you when all these years? At this point, if your parents didn't make the right choices and they just picked anything and listening to all these people in the church, you be fruitful and shut the fuck up. Be fruitful and multiply. What you should it's like you can give people religion, but you can't give them a plan because you don't have a plan. You listen to other people, you want them to listen to you, but you're not giving them good advice. So all that shit and played out. These people coming to the United States have a plan, and that plan ain't feeling sorry for you. It ain't telling you they did the best they could. And they're not coming here to be a rapper. They're not coming here to rap, to hope that they make it playing football and basketball. They're not coming here to be a gangster. Hey, if it happens, it happens. They're coming here to set up shop. Everybody wants their chance. And you can't even really get mad. Okay? Tyrone bragging about his passport. Boy, sit your stupid ass down. You gonna go over there and do this. It's gonna be poverty over there. If you in the United States and everybody's trying to get to the United States, and your dumb ass, you talking about you gonna get a passport, you're not gonna go over there and be in them women faces. They looking at you like, look, bro, like we ain't all infatuated with how you look. You either got it or you don't, homie. So cut the act, baby. Them women aren't dumb over there. They ain't heard about them. Okay. They going over there with their passports. They freshly iron pants, making up stories about how rich they were in the United States. Come on, dude. Stop lying. They need to crack this culture. This generation better crack down on that shit. And they better crack down on it now. Especially the women. Getting your ass done. when you should be fixing your teeth, investing in your health. You're here getting an ass, you're here getting boobs. You got kids to feed, but you're getting another ass. That's stupid. What is that doing? That's stupid. Put some food in your fridge. Open that damn book and read it. Learn something. Stay out the way. It's dumb. I just don't understand in the psyche of the dudes. You get what I'm saying? It goes back to the car example I gave, where you see these dudes in this culture, and it's so weird. Like they'll be all on the floor with a pit bull having puppies. This is the psyche that I've just noticed. The dudes in this culture, their pit bull is having puppies. They all on the floor with the pit bull that's having puppies with 10 baby mamas. But they on the floor with the pit bull that's having puppies. Right? That's one thing. That's one weird thing. Second weird thing is getting police cars that you end up in the back seat of somehow, but you get the police car and you hook it up and you paint it up and you put all this expensive paint on there. It's weird. It's weird. It's a police car. And you rip, it's like a little bar or fence or whatever it is. I don't know what they call it. That separate the back from the front of, it's not a fence, it's some type of screen they have up there. They rip that out. So creative. And put all this money into a police car. A car that was about to get scrapped. And they brag in this culture about taking a fucking car off the scrapyard and putting all this money into it. You should make sure all your kids should have their college paid for with that dumb shit they've done. Not making neighborhoods of sisters and brothers from women who think it's cute to go after dudes or other women. It's so gross, you know what I'm saying? It's so fucking weird. So all the little kids end up related, different mothers, same fathers. It's so creepy. It's fucking creepy. That's your legacy. That's the legacy. And the lineage. Right? It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so odd. Because nobody want to take the time out to get to know themselves, get yourself together, get yourself stable. You just want, this weirdo in your face, making you feel better about yourself, but that's not up to their dumbass. It's up to you. They can't make you feel no way about yourself, and if they can, that's your fault. If somebody else can make you feel better about yourself, you better check that again. Because that same person could also destroy you. The hell with them. You better know how to do that. If you catch yourself, feeling a certain way, realistically, everybody get like that. But nobody on the outside of you should make or break your fucking day. Right? Because you two different people. You're not the same person. So how they gonna make you, I don't get it. That's just another person. That's all they are, right? That GoFundMe stuff, the balloon releases, the candlelight vigils, it's fucking, it's nuts. It's goofy. And like I said, everybody loves the Lord or whatever. I think it's a joke. I think it's the most comical thing. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. It's more funny than any comedy I've ever listened to. I swear it makes me laugh. It cracks me up. Right? It cracks me up every time. Everybody's able to exploit this culture because they're not doing what the hell they want to do. You keep letting people pimp you. Women let these dudes pimp you and knock your ass up and put you in poverty lane, you and your kids, and you sit up there bragging about it and trying to entice other women to make that same dumbass choice so that you can all struggle together because that's what the Lord says. And then you take this goofy ass fucking scripture, the one scripture that they keep on saying. God says it's easier for a poor man to get through the need. Shut the fuck up. That's the only thing you could pick out. It's just like that's the only scripture you know. It's just like, don't come to me with that shit. I don't even want to hear that shit. Because it has done nothing for this culture. Nothing. You can't see the fruits of it. Homicides, being blessed and highly favored creates homicides for stupid shit, stepping on shoes. That's the scripture they always go to. It's easier for a poor man to get through the needle. It just sounds weird. It sounds like some Dr. Seuss story. It sounds so creepy. It's just like, and the more you hear them say that, the angrier you get. Why do you always go to that stupid? Why do you always go to that stupid verse? Right? Then when they get mad, but if God says honor thy father and mother, well, you already effed up in your own little religion, because it also in your Bible and your religion, I thought it told you not to provoke your children. You're provoking your children when you lay down with a buster and you're broke as fuck, and the buster that you chose, you and your buster provoke your kids. So it's not a one-way street, baby. So please understand your little Bible. Your little book that you don't even abide by. You could tell by the homicide rate, sweetheart. You can't tell me shit. Your homicide rates wouldn't be so high if you believed in your book. And you're provoking your kids, right? You're not giving them head starts. And people aren't taking you or your kids seriously. Because if they did, let me tell you the real reason for the border opening. Okay. The kids don't seem to have any home training in this culture like they should. Not yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes, all that shit, right? That's slave talk. Yes ma'am, no ma'am. I mean, you could just say yes and no, and call people by their name. They do have a name, right? You're teaching them how to be subservient. You're teaching them how to be, agreeable about everything. That's the fuck it. Lead a slave talk in slavery. Let them think for themselves. Everybody won't agree on everything and everybody won't be best friends. It's whatever. Life go on, right? Whatever. All right. So what? So what? But the only thing they keep talking about in this culture is like slave shit. It's just like honor your father and mother, honor your father. They didn't even honor you. If they honored you, they would have chose better. If they honored you, they would have set shit up thinking about you, not just thinking about the moment of effing all over the place. 1 minute they effing all over the place, like pimps and hoes, and then the next minute they love the Lord and they want to pick out Bible verses and shit to suit their needs, to have control like a slave owner. And they keep going back to the same stupid ass scriptures. Don't question the Lord. You don't question nothing. If you had questioned something, don't you think you would have made different choices? You don't question, you just go along with everything. Then you getting covered in blood and shit. Like, stop it. Stop. You might as well be gothic then. Hell, I'm gothic, but I don't even want to be covered in no goddamn blood. The fuck? Cover yourself, and you doing all these rituals and shit, but you still don't think for yourself. You covering yourself in blood, you eating blood, drinking blood, you eat flesh, you call it communion. Your favorite scripture is honor your father and mother. Did you even think of your kids? Did you even think of their life and their future? Or did you think they were going to live to be like you? Or you didn't want them to think at all. You want them to be an extension of yourself. So they're disobedient if they live a life different from you. Who give a fuck, right? Honor your father and mother and you'll live to be old. That's it. It. I'd rather read Little Red Riding Hood and the Three Little Pigs. Okay, I'd rather read Robin Hood and Tights. I'd rather read, that shit than what they keep regurgitating every generation that has done absolutely nothing for this culture. They're in the exact same position culturally as they were fresh off the damn ship. But at least they got the Bible. It's a two-way street. You tell them that they'll get mad. I really don't care. Honor your mother and father, and you inherit the earth. The only thing they seem to be inheriting, I mean, it looks to me like honor your mother. If you honor your mother and your father, it's like they're not even. If you're gonna pass down, if you're gonna always quote scriptures and stuff because you think you're saying something, whatever, then at least make it make sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, you effed. I need to honor you because you effed and he effed. You weren't thinking about shit but effing. It's like, when you were effing, you weren't saying, man, we're effing for the future generations. You were not thinking about your future kids. You weren't. You were doing what you wanted to do and you got caught up. The men and the women, they got caught up. Then all of a sudden they run to the Bible and stuff. Now they run they run to the Bible and crack it open to their favorite lullaby, their favorite fairy tale. Okay? And it's just so weird. And they disregard that one important part from their favorite fairy tale, their favorite bedtime story. Their favorite bedtime story. Don't provoke your kids. Don't provoke future generations by making stupid choices over and over and over and over and over and over. God damn, it's like Groundhog's Day. They think that's irrelevant. Okay. And that's where we're at right now. Where we're at, for the people who are religious, it's like it's whatever floats your boat. But for those in the Black culture, I just can't understand. I can't understand how that's benefiting anybody. I just don't understand the shit. They go around asking people, do you have a church home? No, bitch, get out my face, right? And like, if they look at their own little book, it tells them about how if you don't take control of things and you don't think for yourself, pretty much just summarizing all of that, I'm not the scholar of that. I don't get into it. But didn't it tell them you become like a byword or something like that? A joke. People won't buy, sell, and trade with you. You're pretty much going to be effed up. You won't be able to pick stuff from the ground that you planted because you wouldn't be thinking about tomorrow, just today. You'll be like the stars and you'll fall when you were one stars. Isn't that their little Bible? I don't even believe, I'm not even fucking religious. But I do remember them saying that shit. They stay away from certain topics because it's too real. If it get too real, they don't want to talk about this shit. They want to be in la la land. They like them fairy tales. They like the shit that they could use to manipulate people to make themselves feel better about things. When they get too real, they stay away from that. They always talking about dumb shit. The women, Boaz, stupid shit. Like, come on, man. I'm sick of hearing that dumb shit. Boaz, and then TD Jakes, their favorite hero. All this stuff coming out. And he was the main one talking to these same women that they love the religion. And it's single mothers up in that church. A few dudes scattered up in there. looking to see what women they can, yes. Right? And here come TD Jakes with his gat. Yes, yes. You let's sit like a snake. Yes. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. He told them a long time ago. And they like that because he tell them what they want to hear. He knows not to go beyond those borders, not to get too serious, not to get too real, not to make people think. He knows better than that. All of those future faking tellers know how to tell people what they want to hear, because if you tell them the truth, they're going to get upset with you. And you can't tell the truth, especially in churches. That's where you tell the most lies. Because if you tell the truth, don't you think people won't want to go because you're telling the truth? That's why so many people there in this culture, that's where they get lied to. That's where they get their fresh batch of breast milk for grown people, because they get too real outside of the church. Out here, you got to think like constructively on your own. You have to use your own brain cells, which requires you to be honest with yourself, right? No middleman, no preacher hyping you up, telling you everything is cool, when obviously with this culture is something weird going on. Everything is fine. Y'all blessed and highly favored. There's nothing to see here. You guys are already in heaven. Just lying to these people. And of course, that's what they want to hear. So they hear that before they hear, look, you need to think for yourself. Stop making weird choices. Stop making the same choices generation after generation. Don't dumb down. Stop following. Stop letting people stop kissing ass. Stop being a people pleaser. Have something to actually pass down to future generations besides a Bible. Besides a Bible and your leftover fucking debt. Like seriously. That's not cute. It's stupid shit. They need to learn from the cultures who actually think about their future generations. Nobody's perfect, but at least they at least think about this shit. They just run out there and get with the women, want the dudes with the tattoos and shit, looking all cross-eyed and shit. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. We all have tattoos, right? But it's like the way they choose is just based off of stuff that you would think a 13 or 12-year-old girl that doesn't know anything, which a grown ass women. This is people like mothers and stuff. This is people mothers. This is somebody's mother, somebody's father choosing women based upon their asses, right? The mothers is choosing dudes based upon their car, you know? So all this stuff is going to shift. Like with the changes that are about to take place in America, it's going to force people to think for the, especially people who don't really think for themselves. You listen to all these, what do mama think? What is mom? This ain't your mama life, baby. This your life. Your mama going, I hate to say it, but all the people that's like up in age, they going, you going, you got to keep going. Life goes on. You know what I mean? So they're not going to have to live through that. You will. So you can't be making decisions to kiss people ass to make them feel good. You got to do what's good for you. And as long as it's not hurting you and messing up your future, they live their life. You got to live yours, right? They can't live your life in their life. And you got to, get off the breast milk, all that shit right there. Get off the breast milk, whatever. Get off the breast milk. That ain't how it really goes in this world. And that go for women and men in this culture. Like you see cats, you see cats, you see dogs, you see horses. After a certain amount of time, what do? You see them animals. You see when them animals have puppies and all that and kittens. At a certain point, what do they do to them kittens and puppies? Do you see kittens and puppies still suckling at 1 year old? Because in dog years, 1 year old, I think it's like every 7 years. They're not 1 year old still suckling. At a certain couple of months, the mother dog and the mother kitten and horses, at a certain point, they start walking off, letting them know you're not finna do that. You're finna learn how to hunt now. You need to learn how to use your hunting skills. So if animals don't do that, what's wrong? What's going on culturally? What's going on here? If at a certain point animals stop puppies from drinking milk because they need to sharpen their teeth, they need to learn how to use their teeth. That's what they're in their mouth for. Or they will get weak if they don't strengthen them. You don't see mother dogs and you don't see mother cats keeping their sons up under their titty when they're 5 years old and dog years. They're still suckling milk. That's fucking creepy. You see that in humans and you see that in this culture. That will look odd. Have you seen animals doing it? Animals don't do that shit. Humans may take a mother dog and make it feed a kitten. Humans do shit. Humans step in and do shit like that. Animals handle their own shit better than humans do. Way better than people do. In this culture, something weird's going on. Right? Even lions, elephants, and they're a little bit more tribal, but still they need you to learn things by a certain time. But you don't see them suckling, 7-year-old to us is different for animals because they age differently than us. They learn faster than us. Right? That's why they don't need religion and they don't need politics because they handle all of that themselves. They don't have a need for it. Like people need it's like humans are advanced, but technically not more advanced than animals because animals don't need any of that stuff. They know. The women are so advanced. The women animals are way more advanced than the human women, because they can detect when there's something not right with they're not gonna let nobody walk up on them and get them puppies, and they can't do shit because the women are more fierce than the dudes in the animal kingdom. They don't play that shit. Okay. A woman animal would never have something that's playing video games and more of a kid than the puppies and kittens. That would be a turnoff to the animals. In the animal kingdom, that wouldn't do anything for them. It wouldn't. Right? Birds are like this. Hawks are like this. Eagles are like this. Falcons are like this. Even the animals in the sky don't do that. Even the animals under the water don't do this shit. They have a lot of sense. And the women will select the cream de la crop. In the animal kingdom, they don't want shit. If they can sense and detect that something ain't right, they won't even look that way. They won't. It ain't about who the toughest and all this book. They could detect stuff and they know that it's going to create some ailments. It's going to create something that's going to go wrong with their offspring if they choose wrong, and it's going to fuck up the entire lineage. So the animals are actually way more advanced than the human women and the human men. And they just know. And they don't care. They're not playing it. Them puppies and them kittens come out. Do you see them running all around out here? Like the human ones acting like they don't have no damn sense. Tearing stuff up, hitting their head on the wall and shit to get attention. Because they eliminate all that. Animals are able to detect certain things. They're not looking at who drive a certain car and all that. They can detect certain things instinctively. Okay. That's what helped them make better decisions. That they're way more advanced than people. People have all this stuff out here, but they don't seem to have a clue like that. Like certain cultures do. And some cultures just think it's cool, and it backfires. Like now, 2024, 2025, out here making these type of weird choices. Animals are more organized. They are, right? They have their own organization. They do. Look, in the seasons, animals go by seasons. They don't go by clocks. They don't go by clocks. They don't go by man-made time. They don't. They don't go by watches, clocks, calendars. Animals don't go by that shit. They don't need that shit. They go by seasons. Okay, their coats grow out. Like they'll get a thicker coat in the winter, and it'll shed automatically. In the spring, it starts shedding. They'll look thinner. But right around the end of August, September, October, they start putting on more fur, and they'll put on more weight naturally for the winter seasons, right? That's automatic for them. Then, like the squirrels, they'll start getting way before it get cold. They'll start getting all them little acorns and collecting certain things. Animals, birds too. Dogs, if they're feral dogs, not that even the ones who are domesticated dogs, it's something in animals and cats. They start doing stuff even if they're not in tune with the feral animals. They still instinctively know this shit because their parents taught them the real stuff. Not the Bible said, be fruitful. The Bible said that it's all this stupid shit. These animals are on point. They don't have religion, so how are they more on point than people? That's man-made shit. If it was universal, it would apply to the animals. Nature wouldn't be able to grow until it read a scripture. They're more advanced. So it's just baffling. It's amazing. They'll start burying bones in certain places for a reason. Right. And they'll be prepared for the winter. Way before people even know, way before you even get any sign of cold, way before the weather forecasters. The animals are on point. They don't need TV. They don't need, educational system. They are taught from the ones who bring them here. That's their teachers. And they know what they're doing. And that has been going on way before. Like people have allowed society to tell them what to do and whatnot. Animals have been doing this shit every generation. They still do it until people put their goofy hands in the middle of it and try to switch it up for the animals. Animals have been doing this shit nonstop, the same way, no matter what generation it is, and they still on point. You still see birds flying in V formations when it started to get cold. Right before, they already heading out, the same way they were years ago. They're on point. So I mean, this stuff got to stop. If you don't see, like, the women animals know how to hunt and the men animals know how to hunt when necessary, not just for excess. When they're threatened, to feed themselves or to feed their pups. That's it. They don't need to go out and do all this homicide stuff to prove how tough they are. Sometimes the male animals, they will, in order to catch the attention of the women, the women want to make sure they're not a weak bitch, you know. So they may do things that's a little bit different, right? And that they're capable of leading. Because if they're not capable of leading, you can't respect them at all. You're not getting respect where it's not where it's not due, sweetie. It's just not happening. Period. And those women are fierce too. They're on point. The animals choose best. They always choose the right way. I don't know what the women animals. They can scan all them dudes really quickly, and they know. These women listening to their homegirls, and what do you think? You think what do they do with it? And just F up. This gotta stop. I always thought it was fascinating. How do they know? And think about this. Some of these animals get taken away from their mothers a little bit too soon, even though they tell you not to do that. And they still know what to do. Even when they're domesticated, they still know how to hunt, even if they still know how to do this shit. It's instinctive because they do not have religion, they do not have politics, they do not have all this bullshit in the way. They instinctively know what to do. Right? They may be smaller than us, but they're more advanced than us. Until people stick their hands in the middle of it and try to like humanize the animals and stuff, they are already more advanced. They really don't need our help. They don't need our help, like telling them what to do. Because obviously, people creating all these wars like idiots, but you think you could, resolve what the animals are doing, right? Animals seem to be on point. Maybe it's some lessons they can learn. Um, this got to stop. But hey, at this point, like I said, I get this feeling it's going to be a two-termer. I just get this weird feeling it's going to be a two-termer. 2025, I believe it's going to be some people who probably get their feelings hurt by the results, but it is going to be some people who are already on point and could pretty much see what it's headed. I already see where it's headed. I'm not. That's why I'm not in there. I don't want to be in everybody's face. I just don't. I've never been that type anyway. I just don't like that shit. Like either we rock with each other, we don't. I'm just not. I'm not into all that. You know. I'm not into all that fake shit. This right here is a serious year, and the year leading up to it. They got to look at the past 3 years leading up to now, starting from 2020, and this was all going to take place either way. The same thing that happened in 2000, 2001 that reset the United States. It was a reset. 20 years later, it was another reset, literally on point, 2020. And then another one, they tried to keep coming out with more shit like monkeypox and another strain and all this bullshit. It was like literally exactly every 20 years, they have another shift. Because you go back 20 years from that, and 20 years from that, a lot of us probably weren't even here. Keep going back 20 years and look at them every time something shifted in the United States. And it always started with something just like that. Some type of socioeconomical shift. And literally on cue, I swear, man, like people weren't even paying attention to 2019. It was just in La La Land. And on cue, 2020. So if they are paying attention, they may want to check it out 2040. Okay. If you look at two terms, right? If this person getting there 2025, 26, 27, 28, 29, 33, 1, 32, 33. So this will be like damn near right around that time. So 25. Yeah, I believe this person will be in there until 2033. Whoever is elected in 2025 will get 2 terms just like Barack did. And whatever it is, people might as well get ready for 8 years. Period. And goofing off and acting goofy and confused ain't gonna cut it. They're gonna have to change things up and prioritize some things. Really truly know who you are, so who your company is. And then okay, so 2033, which means in 2034, damn, that's something to think about. This shit's gonna be a 2 terms. I'm calling it right now. 2 terms. And this is about to shift this whole thing. And it was already in place. You know, people in the US, it's a lot of people who already knew that. They already seen what was going on way back in 2009, 2007. They sort of seen where this shit was headed. People thought it was a joke. First, you get people relaxed. You know, for people who think it's a game and a joke and everything is over, everything is fine, get them relaxed. You know, they start, making weird choices. Then you do that aha moment. That's what happened in 2001, 2000. And America got shook because America thought they were untouchable at one point. And that shook theirs and it shifted everything. Like, just go back 20 years from 2000. What year would that have been? Right? And then go back 20 years from that. Look at those shit I don't know what the fuck it is, but every 20 years. So people can't really do things how they were doing it and how they were running it previously. They're going to have to think a little bit more with their own brains. And it will disappoint some people, whatever. You're going to have to think for yourself. Like, for real. Time out for all the goofy stuff. I'm doing this at the same time, but I just had to get on here and talk about this. Even though these type of conversations aren't really respected, especially in this culture, everybody just wants to pay attention to this Christian rock goofy and all this stuff. It's like this culture is easily distracted by dumb shit. For real, like a kid is distracted by flashing lights. This culture is distracted by stuff in the media that makes absolutely no fucking sense, and the stuff that they should be paying careful attention to, because that is the life and the world that you will be living in and you will have to navigate. They're not concerned about it. It's too serious and they don't want to deal with it. They want to be like infamous, infinite, forever kids in the head, right? Anytime it get too serious, they get change the subject, like a 2-year-old or something. Like, you can understand that for them because that's their age. These are grown people. They don't like topics that's too real. And that's exactly, in America, that's actually the perfect candidate. That's what you want. You want people to be nice and dumb and gullible and a follower. It's easier to control those types. They won't even give you any problems because they don't even know. They don't think. It's weird. They're easier to control. You don't have to fight to control a person that don't think. They don't even care. They'll let you do whatever. They think it's cool. They're being nice and subservient, and they call it being respectful. And it's disrespectful to yourself to allow somebody to control your mind. It's the bullshit. Then you pass that shit down to kids and say that they're being respectful and mannerable because they're agreeable. Agreeable doesn't mean respectful. You can agree and disagree and still be respectful. Agreeing with everything just makes you a bitch because you don't understand that everybody's not going to go along with your beliefs, and it's perfectly fine. It's okay to not agree on everything. You don't have to be agreeable to be a good person. The hell, who am I? Hmm. Anyway, let me finish this up. I didn't mean to do an hour or so, especially because some others were listening. But appreciate your time. Talk to you next time. Peace.